What's up? So a couple of weeks ago I finally got my Apple Studio display, and to be honest here, before I bought it I thought maybe I should just get one of these LG ultrafine 5K displays or even an ultrawide monitor and that's it. But I actually had the chance to check out one of these ultrafine displays in combination with a MacBook Pro and I wasn't that satisfied. But don't get me wrong here, the LG one is still fine and a great monitor, however I noticed that it wasn't the right fit for my own home office desk setup. And especially if you work over a long period of time in your home office, you need a setup that fits your own workflow and your mood. In my opinion, it's not a great idea to build a setup that you don't really like, so it's better to invest some more money to get the right setup, because in this case you actually really like to get started to work. But long story short, and back to the Studio display, I decided to spend €1,749 for the base version of the Studio display. So yes, I decided to buy the base model version, and that means no nano texture and no height adjustments. And the reason why I decided to not spend more money is that this version is in most cases the one that you need. Of course, in some situations the nano texture or the height adjustments might be worth it, but in my case the base version is just perfect. I don't really notice any bad reflections in my room even though I have a window on the side, and the size of the Studio display fits perfectly for my own desk setup. So all in all, in the end, spending more money on these extra features wasn't worth it in my case. The only thing that you could do is to just buy the VESA mount option, because in this case you can buy the stand that you want to have. So especially if you already have a great stand or if you want to spend less money on the height adjustment, the VESA mount might be worth it to check out. Hardware wise, the Studio display is absolutely solid. The whole chassis is made out of aluminum and glass, including all kind of awesome details around it. On top, a lot of people don't really like the black bezels, but I need to say that I don't really notice them while using the display. Of course, less is always great in this case, but for me it's not a huge deal and I'm really happy with the whole design. It just looks great. The only two things that I personally don't understand is that there's no way to remove the power cord, so if something happens you need to ask Apple to fix that. In this case it would be way easier if you could simply buy a new one and that's it. And the second one is that I can't turn it off. Of course it just works fine in combination with all kind of Macs, but if you actually want to turn everything off, you need to unplug the display. So for example, especially if you connect a hard drive to your monitor and you switch off the Mac Studio, the hard drive is still running. So a power button would be way better to actually switch everything off. And since we already started to talk about the backside of the Studio display, on the backside you can also find 3 USB-C ports and a Thunderbolt 3 port for your Mac Studio, MacBook Pro and so on. In my opinion that's actually really great, because you can use now way more things without using any extra adapters. And since I'm currently slowly switching fully to USB-C, these additional ports are just fantastic. But let's talk about the resolution next. The Studio display resolution is 5120 by 2880, which is just awesome. Everything is crystal clear, and especially for all kind of creatives out there this is just great, because if you want to edit photos or videos, the Studio display is a perfect display in combination with the Mac Studio, for example. The whole workflow is absolutely satisfying, and especially if you upgrade to the Studio display from a 4K screen, or if you already had a 5K iMac at home, you will love the resolution of it. Another topic that we need to talk about are the speakers, and yes, these are just amazing. My last Mac was the 2014 5K iMac, and these new internal speakers are a huge upgrade next to these old ones. In most cases I'm using my headphones or my HS8 for my editing sessions, but currently I really like to make the basic cuts just with those internal speakers because they are really good. On top, I noticed that I started to really like to watch videos without any additional speakers as well, because the audio is just great. And especially if you compare these display speakers with all kind of other display speakers, you will notice a huge difference here. So especially if you don't have any additional audio equipment at home, you will love these speakers. If we now switch over to the webcam, I need to say that the webcam is okay. It's not a spectacular webcam for high quality videos, and the microphone is okay as well. So especially if you have some basic online meetings, that's all you need. And as soon as you want to add this professional touch, you will mostly invest in a different microphone and camera. But I totally understand that a lot of people don't really like the webcam, because in the end if you spend that amount of money for a monitor like this one here, it is really hard to explain why there isn't a better webcam included. But since I'm not using it that much, it's not a huge deal for me. So the final question is, should you buy the Apple Studio display for your home office desk setup? Well, of course this is an expensive monitor, and there are a variety of other options out there that you can easily buy for your home office desk setup. But if you work in the creative space, the Apple Studio display is in my opinion one of the best options for everyone who is already in the Apple ecosystem. It's such a fantastic display that goes hand in hand with a variety of Apple products. It's super user friendly, it just delivers everything that you need for your work, and on top, if you really like the basic minimalistic design in your home office, the Studio display is a perfect fit as well. In my opinion, in the end, this display is the easiest all-in-one solution for Mac users, and I would totally buy this display again. The overall build quality is fantastic and the whole workflow in combination with the Mac Studio is just great. The only downsides are the missing power button, the power cord and in most cases the price. But especially in this case I think it's an investment for a long period of time, so it is okay to spend some more money on that, especially if you're looking for such a specific monitor for your home office desk setup. But yeah, these are my thoughts about the Apple Studio display. What do you think about this display? Write it down in the comments. So, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're new, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay updated for upcoming videos, and I'll see you in the next video.